Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Alex. Welcome to TechFlow. So I moved into my new house about 4 months ago now, and in my recent house tour, I showed off this really weird space. And at the moment, I've been using it for storage, as you can rightly see. However, in the comments, the most requested thing was to turn this place into a little chill vibe, somewhere where we can come, sit down, play games, whether I've got friends over or I'm being a loner by myself. And today, well, today is that video. I've come across a few problems. The main wall that we need to work with isn't like, we've got here 145 and a half, which is going to make putting this false wall in really quite difficult. So we'll cross those bridges as we come to it. However, Sony have sent out this absolute beast of a TV. And seeing as this is going to be a gaming space where we're primarily going to be playing on consoles, this thing is a must. And once this thing's on the wall, I'll explain all about it. Okay, first piece, cut down, fits like a glove. Now just the rest of the wall to do. So this is a new piece of kit that I've picked up recently off recommendation from Assistant Luke. This is called a multi-tool, I'm pretty sure, and you can put multiple tools on the end of here, which I'm sure that's where it gets its name from. Here is basically a tiny little piece with loads of teeth in it. So this is the 42A90K from Sony. Yesterday I got it out the box. Obviously I haven't had much time to play with it yet because the whole entire thing is we're going to get it mounted up on that wall. But a few things that I noted, in the box you get two remotes because this is a high-end TV. So one of them is just your standard IR remote and one of them is much nicer with different things like backlights. Another thing I noticed while I was getting this thing out the box as well is they include loads of cable management stuff, like a few cable ties that you can actually reuse, which I thought was kind of nifty. And then they also put these screws in the back. Usually you have to provide these things yourself. There is actually quite a sizable subwoofer in the back of this TV, so it's nice to see that Sony not only are thinking about the picture quality, but the sound quality too. Okay, so we are getting there. This place is looking awesome. We've got our new Sony TV mounted, we've got our feature wall installed, and I've moved the little sofa here, which is the perfect size for this entire little entertainment area. Now, if you've been keeping tabs of the videos over the last year or so, one of the things you'll know about me is I love using a TV, not as an actual TV itself, but as an actual display for something like a computer. In other words, a monitor. Now, one of the most important things to take into consideration when choosing a TV to use as a monitor is that you don't get one that's too big. Now, previously, if you were to get a smaller Sony TV, you would be settling for an entry to mid-range TV spec. This comes in a 42, which you can see behind me, and a 48, so absolutely perfect for what we're trying to build here. I mean, heck, even in Sony's own advertising campaign, they have this thing sat next to, on a desk, a gaming PC, which speaks volumes coming from Sony. I like that. The included stand even comes with a set of risers for if you were to put this thing on your desk, so you can have it raised up a little bit. Now, another thing that I've loved about using the Sony TVs over the years is the fact that they use the Google OS. Now, you do have an option on setup to not use the Google if you're a tinfoil hatter. However, if you're not, I would recommend you use the Google OS because so far I have not seen any targeted adverts in this OS, and it doesn't seem like loads of people are spying on me and it's reaching out to loads of different servers. This is a nice, well-equipped UI that has access to all of the apps you need. This thing's got got the new cognitive processor XR in it, which handles things like the motion, upscaling and contrast on the fly, whilst at the same time maintaining an 8.5 millisecond response time, which again is great for gaming. So I want to say a massive thanks to Sony for sending this TV for this project. It is literally the perfect panel. I couldn't have asked for anything better for what we're trying to build right here. It also has HDMI 2.1, which, as you're going to see in a minute, is a blessing but also a little bit of a hindrance. So over the last few days, what I've managed to do here is cut a hole in the wall, which luckily enough for me goes up to here. Now over the last few days, I've been building this out. This is the attic space directly above the new little cubby that we are trying to make. And that hole that I've drilled in the wall comes up to exactly right here. We've got power, HDMI, and Ethernet, which goes down to this new TV. Which is great because my main network, well, my temporary setup for the new house, resides literally right here. So we've managed to give the TV Ethernet. And this is the HDMI cable that I've managed to run down to our new Sony TV. Now this is an HDMI 2.1 cable. This led me down a rabbit hole. Because of the bandwidth requirements for HDMI 2.1, you can't just go and buy any length of cable and expect it to work. If you want to get any usable results over, let's say, about 5 meters, and that is probably the max, you have to go for a special fiber optic HDMI cable. Yeah, you heard me say that right, and it sounds like something that's going to come out in 10 years. No, a fiber optic HDMI cable is what you need. So I'm giving this thing a go. This was £100 off Amazon, and this is a 4K 120 HDMI switch. It has 1 in port and 2 out ports. This is one of those fiber optic HDMI 2.1 cables that goes off to another TV in the house. So if I plug our Sony TV into the out port on this splitter, and then we take another HDMI 2.1 cable and put that in the in port, that then runs off somewhere down there, and it comes out just down here, right next to our new Sony TV, which we should then be able to connect to our PlayStation 5. Hopefully all of this works. And there you go, through our HDMI splitter, which is working at 4K 120 Hz, we can now play the PlayStation 5. And this is awesome because it means if I ever want to swap out the console or plug anything else into this TV, it's all been routed down to here. So it's basically whatever you want on this TV, you plug it in down here, and there is no cable mess whatsoever. I've been watching football up here with friends, I've been playing games from here, and I've even been plugging my MacBook into this thing to use it as a monitor with a wireless mouse and keyboard, and that has also worked an absolute treat. And now all that's left to do is to add some little cool bits to this room to make it different and make it unique, which is where I need your guys' help in the comments section down below. We've made a great start here and installed a great TV, but I still think there's some more little things that we can do to finish this space off. But for now, guys, my name's been Alex, this has been TechFlow, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.